it's Wednesday already. Well, you're here, I'm here, so let's get this thing done. Now, we're in Genesis 39 today, a story featuring a young man named Joseph. Now, his journey is filled with ups and downs and tells a lot about resilience, integrity, and faith. So grab a seat and get comfortable, and let's explore this remarkable tale together. Now, Joseph's story actually began back in chapter 37. You recall Joe was the absolute favorite of his father Israel, which only served to tick off Joe's 11 brothers. And they hatched a conspiracy to sell him into slavery, convinced their father that Joe had become lion chow. Now, the big question this week, what's the deal with Joseph being accused of sexual misconduct? Well, you gotta be kidding me. Here it is. Joseph was taken to Egypt by his new owners, the Ishmaelites, and he found himself far from home. Now, this might sound like a tragic turn of events, and it certainly was no picnic, but something remarkable was about to unfold. He caught the attention of an important man named Potiphar, who was an official in Pharaoh's court, essentially a high-ranking captain of the guard. Now, Potiphar decided to buy Joseph and to bring him into his household. Now, here's where things take a positive spin. The Lord was with Joseph during this time, guiding him and helping him to thrive. I'm reading now from Genesis 39, 3 through 4. When his master saw that the Lord was with him and that the Lord gave him success in everything he did, well, Joseph found favor in the eyes and became the attendant of Potiphar. Now, Potiphar put him in charge of his household, and he entrusted his care to everything he owned. Yeah, you heard that right. This young fellow, once was a slave, was now managing everything that Potiphar owned. But hey, that's how you do the hokey pokey and you turn it all around, right? Now, in fact, the blessings Joseph brought to Potiphar's household were so significant that the entire estate thrived thanks to his efforts. And the Lord's favor touched everything that Potiphar owned. From the crops to the field to the food on his table. He was so busy enjoying the fruits of Joseph's labor that he didn't have to worry about anything except what was on the menu for dinner. Pretty sweet setup, wouldn't you say? But then, as is often the case in life, a twist is waiting just around the corner. Genesis 39, 6 through 7. So Potiphar left everything he had in Joseph's care. With Joseph in charge, he did not concern himself with anything except the food that he ate. Now, Joseph was well built and handsome, and after a while, his master's wife took notice of Joseph and said, "Come to bed with me." Now, Joe knew nothing good can come from this, and he found himself stuck between a rock and a hard place. With courage and integrity, he refused her advances. He explained to her how much trust what Potiphar had placed in him. "My master doesn't know anything in this house that isn't in my charge," he stated. "The only thing he's kept from me is you, because you are his wife." Now, Joseph knew by giving in to her demands, well, that would not only betray Potiphar's trust, but it would also be a sin against God. And his moral compass led him to stand firm despite her persistence, day after day, and he continually rejected her. But wait now and take a little bit deeper look at what we're missing. How about the bad part of beauty, both men and women? It can be a dangerous snare to themselves and to others. Take no pride in beauty, and always be on your guard against the temptations that go hand in hand with it. Beauty can be both deceitful and deceiving. One day, Joseph goes about his usual business in the house, but this time it's eerily quiet. None of the other servants are around. Suddenly, Potiphar's wife grabs Joseph by his cloak, demanding once more that he sleep with her. And in a moment of quick thinking, well, Joseph spins out of his cloak and runs off, leaving her standing there with an empty garment. Now, he's escaped for now, but you know what they say, hell has no fury like a woman scorned. And Joseph was about to find that out. Potiphar's wife wasn't about to accept rejection, and she plotted to do the hokey pokey herself and turn the whole narrative around. She called her household servants and concocted this story that Joseph had tried to force himself on her. but that he fled when she screamed. Now, when Potiphar heard this story, why, he was furious, of course. But instead of believing Joseph's honesty and integrity, well, he sent him off to prison. But the story doesn't end there. There's this in Genesis 39, 20 through 22. But while Joseph was there in the prison, the Lord was with him and showed him kindness and granted him favor in the eyes of the prison warden. So the warden put Joseph in charge of all those held in the prison, and he was made responsible for all that was done there. Now, even in hardship, Job continued to earn trust and respect. The warden didn't have to worry about anything that Joseph managed. The blessings followed him. Whether in Potiphar's house or behind bars, the Lord was indeed shaping his destiny, even amid the most challenging of circumstances. So what can we learn from Joseph's story? It's a tale of determination and faithfulness, standing strong in the face of temptation, and believing in the greater purpose. Joseph's journey teaches us valuable lessons of integrity and the importance of trust. Even the idea that when life takes a downward turn, there's always hope for redemption. Here's the thing, good men are a blessing wherever they live. Joseph found favor in every place he went, and everyone there enjoyed God's favor as well. So find strength in your faith, no matter what struggles you may face. It may benefit everyone around you. And maybe, just maybe, your faith may rub off on others. And we'll see you next week.